No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. If you all could join me on your feet for our opening song. Here we go. Sing along if you know it.
Coming together to celebrate life, shining like stars in a brilliant night sky, here for each other in joy and pain. Grateful for this family, spiritual community. The love we share is sunshine after rain. All is well when we are together, greater, stronger. All is well. All is well when we are together, deeper, kinder. All is well. Oh, when we're together, it feels like home. Kindred spirits never alone. Let's join voices and sing our song. Music is the food of love. At this table is more than enough. In this moment, take a breath and sing along. All is well when we are together, greater, stronger. All is well. All is well when we are together, deeper, kinder. All is well. Will you sing it with us? All is well when we are together, greater, stronger. All is well. All is well when we are together, deeper, kinder. All is well. Oh.
of our way shower Jesus in seeking to love ourselves, love each other, and love God more fully. And from this beautiful consciousness of love, we honor all names for God, all paths to God, and all expressions of God. And every single one of us is an expression of God. At Unity Renaissance, we have a beautiful vision. And if you would repeat that with me, I'd appreciate it. Together, a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy. And we manifest that vision through our mission, which is together, we transform lives that transform the world. And let's start the morning with prayer. Sweet Spirit, as we breathe through our heart space and connect with that beauty, we recognize that in order to transform the world, it needs to start within us. The transformation and the change starts here in our hearts. Today, this is a beautiful opportunity to learn to listen to that urge, that spirit within us. An opportunity to learn to open our hearts to that whisper. We are beautiful expressions of spirit when we have ears to hear and eyes to see. And we come with open mind today to learn more about how to listen to that intuitive intelligence within us, that still small voice that is always present. And for that, we are so very grateful and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Right before that, I just wanted to let you know that we have a special speaker here today, Carylanne Steinberg. She's really not new to any of you, I'm sure, because she's been here for about 6 years. She'll be speaking about the gift of intuition. And she's been a platform host here for quite a while, a couple years at least, and has been around Unity for a long time. She's not new to it. In fact, it goes all the way back to the early 90s in Fort Myers, Florida. Carylanne, like many of us, believe that love heals. She is a seasoned soul and life coach, intuitive spiritual guide, master energy practitioner, minister in the order of Melchizedek. Oh, doggone it, I thought I had that down. I Googled it. Okay, so she's also a hypnotherapist, mindfulness and meditation leader with 28 plus years of experience. Her unwavering commitment is helping people connect and align with the presence within, to embody their strengths, divine gifts, and individual talents, learn to trust intuition, love and accept themselves, and to fully embrace and live their extraordinary lives. She loves nature, art, and most importantly, chocolate. I probably should have led with that. Carylanne, would you stand, please, so everybody can see you? She's going to be our speaker today. And after the service, she will be leading a deeper dive into the subject in a workshop, so we hope you will stay for that. And now it's time to sing and connect, guys.
All right, folks, if you could just join us on your feet for our second congregational selection. It's good to know that everything you need is available to you. And
everything that I need to know about what lies before me. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to be strong about what lies before me. Everything that I need to be strong about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to be at peace about what lies before me. Everything that I need to be at peace about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me.
All right, so now is the time in our service where we get to greet our neighbor with a bow, a handshake, or a hug, whichever you choose. And if you don't mind looking up at the screen and repeating with us the divinity salute together, the divine in me greets the divine in you, and we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me. Beautiful job, Unity.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Aren't they awesome? I mean, I don't know how it's possible that you all keep getting better, but you do. Figure. I'm Laurel Brooks, delighted to be your platform host for today. And our word for today is joy. So please join me in our affirmation together. I am blessed with indwelling joy. In John's Gospel, Jesus prays his disciples and all who receive their message will experience for themselves the joy he knows. I share in Jesus' joy as I remember that I am a living expression of the divine, created in God's image and likeness, just as Jesus was. My ability to express love, life, wisdom, and all the other qualities of God is limited only by my willingness to live from my spiritual nature. I am one with God and one in the allness of God with all people everywhere. The joy Jesus described remains with me no matter what is happening around me. I know wholeness in the midst of illness, abundance, amid the appearance of lack, even sadness in the aftermath of loss cannot overtake my joy. Our scripture verse is from John chapter 15, verse 11. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. If you would like prayer support today, we have several options. You may fill out a prayer request by the prayer table, by the chapel, or submit a prayer online at unityrenaissance.org. You may also call the Unity Prayer Ministry, Silent Unity, anytime, 24 hours. That number is 816-969-2000. And for those who are here, we have prayer chaplains available to pray with you after the service. Would our prayer chaplains please stand? Thank you. They will be located in the chapel right across from the bookstore. And now, please rise and join with us in the Lord's Song.
Holy Creator, we praise your name, your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from day to day. Let your forgiveness light our way. Lead us away from temptation's hold. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power and praise, with you began and with you stays. Holy Creator,
Our Father, who art in
we
heaven,
praise your name.
hallowed be thy name.
Your will in heaven,
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Supply our needs,
Give us this day
from day to day.
our daily bread,
Let your
and forgive us all our debts,
lead us away,
and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. For all the kingdom, power, and praise, with you began and with you stays. Amen. Amen.
Please be seated.
This inner space has the power to set me free. It's the cavern of creation and the truth of you and me. This inner space, an eternity of time. It's the moment of the holy now and the honest that is mine. This inner space contains all that I need. From deep within the invisible flows the living air I breathe. This inner space is flowing in my bones, I say, breathe, just breathe. Now breathe. This peace, this inner space is the ocean of your soul. And when you feel most broken, the truth is you are whole. This inner space connects us one to all. And though it would never push you, it will break down every wall. And I say, breathe. Just breathe. Now breathe. This peace, this inner space invites us to renew. In all my endless choosing, I become the chosen to this inner space. It never knows a past. In a quiet place, you can hear it, and it might just make you laugh. And I say, breathe. Just breathe. Now breathe. This peace of this inner space.
Good morning. Good morning, Unity. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful song and setting the tone. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. Thank you. Thank you. That song just always touches me in such a deep way. I just need to take a breath for a second. How grateful I am to be here today with all of you, and for all of you that are out there watching. I'm just really grateful for this opportunity and for this time together, knowing that we are all here by divine appointment and that we listened. We got that nudge, that whisper this morning, and we said yes, and we are here. We are here. And I'm very grateful for that. And happy summer. So the solstice came in this week with all that bright light and energy. Did anybody feel that? That was like boom. And it just, it really reminds us that we are light. That's exactly what we are. And in the summertime, we tend to remember that a little bit more, I think. And so the summer is a time of warmth and abundance, and it's also the time of the heart when we move a little bit later into the sign of Leo, and so a lot to look forward to. Okay, so intuition. We are at a time, are we not? We are at a time when we are seeking peace. We are seeking love. We are seeking assurance. We are seeking joy. We are seeking connection. And the connection is our connection with Spirit, with God, with the universe. And our intuition is a gift of the sacred. It's that gift that Spirit has given us that is in all of us. Spirit lives in all of us. God is in all of us. The Creator is in all of us. And now more than ever, are we listening? Are we listening? Are we taking time to move into that inner space? Or are we doing that? You know, the gift of intuition is one that we were born with, all of us, every single person in this room, every single person in the universe was born with the gift of intuition. It's innate within us. You know, when I was a little girl, I sensed things, and I really didn't understand what that was or how I knew things. And it wasn't until, I think, when I started to get maybe into my teens or late teens or early 20s when I started hearing about what that was. And, you know, we all have 5 senses, right? And we're grateful for those. And your intuition is like your 6th sense, you know? And so now more than ever, it's really important for us to cultivate that which is already there, if that makes sense. You know, before I was getting ready to give this talk, of course I called the Unity prayer team because that's what we do. And this wonderful woman was praying with me, and right in the middle of her prayer, she paused, and this is what she said. She said, "Your inner GPS is ignited right now." And it literally took my breath away for a second. And then she got really, really quiet. And then she said, "God's guidance, God's peace, God's success is with you." And that's what your intuition is. It's God's guidance. It's God's peace. It's God's way of leading you where you are meant to be. Okay? And it's about following your heart. It's about taking time to go into the inner space. It's about meditation. It's about prayer. It's about spending time in nature. These are all things that we already know, that we always say, are we doing it though? Are we taking the time? You know, yesterday I was going to meet a friend, and I was really looking forward to that. And then my inner voice said, sit, stay home, meditate. And I did. And a couple of hours into that, this peace washed over me that I really needed. I really needed so that I would be in the place that I really wanted to be. You know, because it was a very busy week and with clients and then getting ready for this. And so when we listen, it may not always be what you want to do. It will be what's best for you. And it really is up to us to participate. You know, one of my good friends is a speaker at the ARE, and he said, we were talking about intuition and everything, and he said, you know, listening is a choice. It's not an arranged marriage. It's not something that was prearranged. It's something that we get to choose again and again and again and again. So it requires dedication. It requires meditation. It requires trust. It requires a willingness to let go and allow something greater than yourself to be your guide. You know, and it's all about that. I don't know when it was, maybe sometime during the year, I kept getting this message, Carylanne, take your hands off the steering wheel of control. And I was like, take my hands off. Take my hands off the steering wheel of control and let me lead you. You know, this has been a year of tremendous change. I don't know what kind of changes all of you have been going through, but there's been a lot of change in my life and in my world, and I kept on hearing that, and whenever I hear that, I realize that I'm holding on too tightly, and it's time to flow. It's time to relax and let myself be led. You know, in Tasha Silver's book, Outrageous Openness, which I did get at the bookstore, she says, everything is easier with God. Everything. Everything is easier with Spirit. Everything is easier when you are tapped in, tuned in, and turned on. Everything. Everything is easier. And she says this prayer. Today, the divine will show me the way. I am open to all messages, signs, and omens. I will move as if there is a force of love waiting to aid me in every area of my life, big and small. Take that in, take a breath. Today, the divine will show me the way. I am open to all messages, signs, and omens. I will move as if there's a force of love waiting to aid me in every area of my life. This prayer opens us up to be guided. And what are we so afraid of anyway? Why are we so afraid to be guided? Why are we so afraid to turn it all over? That's a really good question, isn't it? It's a really good question. So, intuition is a whisper, it's a nudge, it's a word, it's some people get a chill. It's a knowing. And I have this one client, and he calls his intuition a ping. He comes in and he's like, I got a ping this morning. This is what Spirit said to me. And I think that's a really good way to look at it, because really, you're kind of stepping aside and allowing your higher self to take over. And it does. It feels like a ping. And so he always says, and on a good day, it's ping, 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 ping. And I love that. I love that. I think that's a great way to look at it. So be still and know that you will hear the Lord. Be still and know that that voice, that hand is closer than your breath. You know, it is Spirit within us. It is God within us that's beating our heart right now. That's breathing you, that's breathing me. And there's a comfort in knowing that. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was driving in the car, and I heard this voice say, call your sister. And luckily, the light was red, and I was sitting at the light. And I called my sister, and she says, how did you know? We're sitting in the emergency room. And I said, God. And that's how it works. Okay, so for me, for someone like me, I had a pretty intense spiritual awakening over 30 years ago, and it rocked me in a lot of different ways, and it because I didn't really know what was going on. I was having a lot of anxiety for a long time, and I wasn't able to do a lot of things. And so I really took a deep dive into my spiritual practice, my spiritual life and meditation, and learning what intuition is and what it means when spirit is guiding you and how that can affect you. Because it can get pretty intense. I mean, everyone I think in here has had a dark night of the soul. Well, mine lasted for about 5 years. Yeah, I had very, very intense anxiety and depression, and really it's only by the grace of God that I'm even standing here today. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for all the teachers and all the way showers and all the people that have supported me and guided me. And so when I came through that, with the help of an amazing woman, Candace was her name, and she started working with me through prayer and meditation, and she started doing this energy work with me, and I started to get better. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So the anxiety was a gift. It was a gift because it allowed me to become more of who I am, you know? So intuition is a muscle, and like any other muscle, you gotta use it so that it gets stronger and stronger. And it will. And I believe that many of you are much more intuitive than you even think or believe. So in Proverbs 3, verse 5, 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. In all ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path." So the Master, the Christ, is saying to us, I am inviting you to trust me. I am inviting you to accept the love that I have for you. And it's an invitation, you know? Do you remember, how many people remember many years ago there was this WWJD, What Would Jesus Do movement, you know? I love that. I wish I had a t-shirt that said that. And so what would Jesus do? What did Jesus do? Jesus went up to the mountain. Jesus went out into the fields for days and days and days. Moses went up to the mountain. I bet Mohammed went up to the mountain. Now, I'm not suggesting that you have to go up to the mountain, although maybe you do. Maybe some of you are being called to go to the mountain. Maybe some of you are being called to take a pilgrimage. Maybe some of you are being called to go on a retreat somewhere. What would Jesus do, though? Jesus would get quiet and listen. He would take the time away from his disciples. He would take the time away from his friends. He would take the time away. And, you know, it's funny that we have so much trouble doing that. I mean, isn't it? People say to me, Carylanne, I'm just not comfortable being by myself. I'm just not comfortable. I don't know how to meditate. I can't even tell you how many people say to me, well, how do you do it? How do you start meditating? You know what you do? You breathe. Just like Lily said in the song. You start by breathing. You know, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, I love his meditations, he says, breathing in and breathing out. I breathe in and I am aware that I am breathing in. I breathe out and I am aware that I am breathing out. And that's how you begin to meditate. You start with your breath. And then you sit for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. And then you start doing it for a little bit longer. And the next thing you know, you're meditating. That's how easy it is, really. So, intuition is peaceful. It doesn't shout at you. It doesn't yell at you. It's peaceful, it's loving. And if what you're hearing is not that, then that's not your intuition. Okay? Intuition is loving. It's that soft whisper. It's that gentle kindness. And you know, by us listening, we actually become better listeners. And when we become better listeners, we become more compassionate to the people around us. And we become more compassionate with ourselves. You know, Tasha Silver, and I know she's the one I'm quoting today, in her book Outrageous Openness, she says this, and I quote, "Often the next right action can be felt as a palpable inner pull, knowing in almost any situation, you may not know what the route is to take, but in the moment, if you listen, you will know step by step what to do, and you will." And it takes courage. It takes dedication. It takes, as my grandmother would say, chutzpah to be on this spiritual path. Because this is not an easy path. It's a glorious path. It's filled with miracles and joy and wonderful fellowship and wonderful things. And it's hard sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes, you know? So it's really up to us to say yes. To say yes to the divine, to say yes to God, to say yes to that inner voice, you know? So here are some characteristics of highly intuitive people. They have a higher sense of empathy. They operate in faith, self-awareness, a desire to live from their truth, from their heart space, the ability to listen. They're very observing and focused, and they choose to live in the present. And the present, my friends, is where it's at. And that's when your intuition is speaking to you. It's not the past, it's not the future, it's right here and right now. So I asked a couple of people, my highly intuitive friends, how do you know when it's your intuition? And this is what they said. The slides are not coming up, so I'm just going to say them. So my friend KD, she said, it's an inner nudging to go in a certain direction. As I hear the voice of my intuition, the universe will bring me signs, or someone will say something that will affirm the intuitive nudge. My friend LJL says, intuition is always positive and loving. When the peace is there, your intuition is there. Intuition never says you should, it says you could. Intuition never says you have to, it says you can. And Steven Spielberg says, who I didn't meet with and I don't know, personally, maybe in a different life. He says, you want to be clear that your intuition is different than your conscience. Your conscience shouts, here's what you should do, and your intuition whispers, here's what you could do. So here's my most recent story about following my intuition. I was having a really tough day, and it was probably around 4 o'clock, and I was going to go and do something, and then my inner voice said, go and walk at the park. And there's a park at Town Center that I love, and I've made friends with all the trees and the water and everything, and so I went there. And I'm walking around the park, and I'm feeling, more like myself. I'm connecting with nature, which is a great way to access your intuition, by the way. And then I hear this voice, go into the Blue Mercury. And I had seen that store before, but I had never really been in there. It sells like makeup and skincare. And so I walk in, and as I walk in, as I go to the door, I open the door, and this man walks in, and we almost bump into each other, and I had like a moment of recognition, eye to eye. And he said, hi. And I said, hi. And I went in and I'm like, what am I doing in here, Spirit? And so I talked to one of the girls for a moment, and then he comes back in. And he's like, hey. And I said, hey. And he's like, girl, you need to let me do your eyebrows. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So the next thing I know, he's got me in this seat, and he's cleansing and toning and doing all this stuff. And he's just got this really like warm glow about him. And he says, you know, you're lucky. He says, I'm just here from DC for the day. And I said, I am lucky. I said, and I didn't go into why I got there. And so he finishes up, and I just said to him, I said, Matrice, I said, I can't thank you enough for this. I said, you really lifted me up today. I said, I had been praying most of the day. I said, a friend of mine had to have a very unusual surgery all of a sudden. I said, my heart's been really heavy. And he looks at me, and he's like, give me a hug. And the next thing I know, I'm hugging this person. And he said, you know, I had a similar thing happen today. He said, a friend of mine that I haven't seen in 20 years, I found out they're homeless. He went into this whole story, and he looked at me. And at this point, I'm like praising God under my breath, really. And he looked at me, and he said, this is what happens when you listen. And I said, yes! And I can't even tell you how many times I have listened and how many times miracles just like that have happened. So I encourage you to listen to your intuition. I encourage you to lean in. I encourage you to be courageous and let the divine lead you. Let's turn to our meditation. Get comfortable. Get comfortable in your space. Take a nice, comfortable breath in. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe into any spaces or places of tension or stress. Feel the support of the seat beneath you. Feel the support of the earth beneath you, the universe around you. You are fully loved and supported right here and right now. And begin to breathe slowly and gently into your heart center. Breathing in through the heart and out through the heart. Making that sweet connection to your inner space. This is the space where love lives. This is the space where you are home. Who are you? You are daughters and sons, children of the Holy Creator. You are loved beyond measure. You are magnificent. You are a pure expression of the divine that we know as God, Spirit, Creator, the universe. In this place, in this knowing, go within for a moment. If there's something that you may have on your heart or want an answer to, take a moment and listen. Breathe. Breathe into that beautiful heart. And when you feel ready, take a nice deep breath in, exhale fully, and come into this glorious present moment. Allow your eyes to open. You are here, you are loved, you are blessed. Thank you.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Well, this is the time in our service when we give back. It's a partnership. We are the ones who support the building, the grounds, if it weren't for you, for us, we wouldn't have this place. And in return, we get spiritually fed. We are nurtured and taught in beautiful ways, such as Carylanne's lovely talk. Thank you so much for that. It was wonderful. And so I invite you. There are many ways to give. I'm sure you know this by now. You can put a check or cash in the basket on your way out, but there are electronic ways. So we can go to unityrenaissance.org and give there. There's the app and the Tithely app as well. I think that there's an integration of all of that. And of course, the easiest way is through your smartphone. You can text, and first you have to set it up if you've never done that before with the word give and text to that number. But after that, you just type in the number, hit send to this number.
540-418-1228. Text now.
So please take your gift in your hand or your phone, whatever it is that you have, and let's do our offertory blessing. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
And I am
Grateful.
Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, back in good measure. It's given back to you. Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although these waves are stringing us along, just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home. Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The troubles, they might drag you down. When you're lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
This is your part. You ready?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
You got it.
Settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. The troubles, they might drag you down. When you're lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Sing along with us, please. And
Ooh, ooh,
last time we'll sing ah all together. Welcome home.
And now it's time to seek out the newcomers. I promise we will not, yeah. I promise we will not tie you up or do anything like that. We will not stalk you to your home, or that happened to me once. I went to a new church, and when I got home, it's like they were right behind me to say, "You forgot your coffee mug." So anyway, if you are a newcomer to Unity Renaissance, we would love to honor you with a gift. It's really as simple as that. If you'd raise your hand if you're here for the first time, and keep your hand up long enough for someone to find you and give you your little gift bag. And then inside of that bag is a card to fill out to take to the bookstore for another gift. So is there anyone here for the first time? Really, I didn't mean to scare you. Please raise your hand. Okay. Thank you very much, and we are just really pleased to have everyone here today. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Okay, is this on? Yes. Okay, good. Our first offering is that Akashic Records meditation is back with Carylanne. And the resuming class will be offered a week from Monday, which will be the 10th of July. So please partake in this wonderful opportunity right here in this very place, Unity Renaissance.
And I would like to invite up Kathleen Barnett to talk about My Space, My Pace, a wonderful program for kids.
Good morning. I'm Kathleen Barnett, founder of My Space, My Pace. It's an education support and empowerment program. But first, I want to applaud all educators, past, present, and future, who have ended this school year or any educational session, always feeling that I could have done more. Even with the countless hours of planning, the collaboration, The early mornings, late evenings, spending of our own funds to make sure that learning is meaningful and that certain learners can connect what they're being taught, and having fun at the same time, advocating for our students. It does not end in June, and any educator can tell you that. We always feel that we could have done more. So this is the thought that inspired the creation of an educational program to look at the impact of social promotion on our students who were already experiencing wide learning gaps pre-COVID, and COVID only caused it to be wider. Social promotion is the practice where students are moved on to the next grade level, whether they're prepared or not, because of their size, because of their age, or whatever. So you can imagine what happens to the learning gap. It's wider and wider, and these children seldom have an opportunity to catch up, because once they move on to the next grade level, the teacher's going to take them from where they are and move them forward. So that this means that the students get further and further behind. As you can see, equality is everybody having the same thing. They have the same classroom, same teacher, same curriculum. Equity means everybody is getting what they need. But this is the reality in the average classroom. What if that were your child right there? And that's the reality for many students, especially those that we have identified at My Space, My Pace. So, for the past 2 years, Unity has provided this space for us and over 15 volunteers to provide customized, targeted instructions for students to help fill those learning gaps and to counter social, emotional effects of learning loss. It's not just the gaps academically, but other things are happening at the same time. Our summer session offers reading, math, social studies, art, geography, health, mindfulness practice, led by Brian Egan each week, brain balance activities. All of this is integrated instructions. The kids don't even know they're getting it all at one time, learning and having fun, and connecting to the learning experience. Our fall sessions are offered in various other locations to accommodate the students. And I want to thank Lambert's Point for opening their doors to us this fall so that we could serve our students. So July 5th through August 3rd, thanks again to Unity Renaissance, the spiritual community, our volunteers will once again join together and provide meaningful experiences for our students to help them reach certain milestones. Now, in this congregation, we have many, many people that have volunteered. I'm going to ask you at this time if you would please stand. Everybody that has worked in my space for the past 2 years. Thank you, Ms. Tyler. And our children, when they come in for the children's moment, you will see many of our outspace students. It has spilled over into our church program, and many of our students still attend as a result of coming to our summer program. So today we want to offer you the opportunity to donate and volunteer and get in where you fit in. We will have a table outside for that purpose. So My Space, My Pace is here once again this year. Thank you, Unity Renaissance, to ensure equitable educational practices through proper placement, pacing, and collaboration. So we'll see you out there in the narthex. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. That's awesome. Laurel?
So Lisa Cooper will be back tomorrow. And Lisa, this is her third presentation at Unity Renaissance. She offers an expressive arts workshop. And Lisa helps us to go within and explore our inner space through drawing and visualization and writing in order to show up in the world with more of our power, our creativity, better boundaries, more compassion, better listening skills. So this class by Lisa has gotten rave reviews, and I hope she keeps coming back tomorrow. If you're interested, you can go on unityrenaissance.org and register there. The cost is $30. No one is turned away. And it's happening tomorrow morning right here at 11 o'clock.
Awesome. So if you enjoyed the Memorial Day weekend music and fun gathering that we had here outside, another one is coming up, 4th of July week. It will actually be on the Friday, the 7th of July, here at Unity, 5:30 until 9. And I hear that that you can get your groove on, you know, dancing if you wanted to, singing, listening, and just connecting with each other. That's one of the best parts of being in this community, is sharing a meal and just connecting one-on-one and in groups. You can bring a dish to pass. I believe that the burgers and stuff will be provided, right? Okay, good. And again, that is on the 7th. It'll be in our parking lot. Bring a chair, too.
We are hoping that Mother Nature cooperates.
Yeah, well, maybe by then it will be cleared up.
Maybe. Where's Joe when we need him? And will at least some of our music team accompany us on the July 7th gig? Yay, that's a plus. Okay, so every Sunday after service, we have one of our Unity Renaissance board members available to speak to anyone that has any questions about Unity and the transition we're going through. Today's is Christopher Nunn. Kristen, are you here? Oh, there you are. Okay. And you can either find Chris here or out in the narthex. Thank you, Chris.
And he knows everything. He's been president for a while.
He knows it all.
Next week, our message will be given by our very own Ed Rosequist, and it's on our freedom. We hope you'll join us again for that. And now it's time to bring in the kids, and this is going to be a very special little ceremony. So let's welcome the children, or the youth at this point.
We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. You probably wonder why we're sitting today. We're doing something a little bit different. We're in celebration mode today because those of you who don't know, I promise you I won't tear up. Those of you who don't know, our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders make up our Uniteens program, and then 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th make up our YOUers. And we have 3 young gentlemen who are moving up, we call it flying up, from Uniteens to YOU. And so we're going to celebrate them today. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of that.
And Jeremiah's here. Uniteen leaders. Having worked with these teens, having observed their spiritual growth, having witnessed their understanding of the unity principles and self-discovery of their relationship with Spirit, do you recommend that they are prepared to enter the youth of unity. And our leaders are, for those of you who may not know, Dr. Shafiq, Valerie Winters, Quintina was not able to be here today, and we have Hunter, and we have Mr. Ed. Did I leave anybody out? Okay. And Valerie and Shafiq, if you could step up.
Just real quick before we move on to the Uniteens, tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the ordination of Reverend Ann will be live streamed on the UWM Facebook page. So, okay. Now, on to our Uniteens. Okay. If I can get Jeremiah, Jedediah, and Marcus to join me and Shafiq up here on stage, please. Stand over here. Tracy wasn't able to join us today, but he does come on a regular basis, and we have some pictures of him you'll see later on as we move through this. Okay. All right. 8th graders, you came here as a Uniteen. Over the last few years, we have explored the spiritual principle that each of you has within you, the Christ light that will guide you through your high school and adult life. Coming into this circle, we have affirmed our oneness with earth, with one another, but most importantly with God. You have consciously made a pledge, and if you remember to live by it, no matter how difficult your journey, you will find solid ground to walk on, or you will find your spirit being lifted into a higher perspective, an awakened consciousness that will assure your success in life. Each of you has come into this earth experience to give your life in sacred service. As you move through this ceremony today, let each step take you into each moment, and with an open heart, your vision from your life becomes clearer. Are you ready to take this step into YOU?
We are.
Okay.
If we can have the parents of these 3 individuals come up to the stage, please.
Jordan, can you help me? Each of the parents has a gift, and then we have a gift from the other Uniteens that are in 6th and 7th grade. Okay. Adrian, we're going to go in alphabetical order. Okay. So we're going to start with Jeremiah.
Zay, stand over here. Oh, okay. To our son. The joy you bring enriches our lives and reminds us to enjoy life to the fullest, be mindful of each blessing, intentional with kindness, and to always keep love in our hearts. We love you.
To my dearest Marcus, From birth, you showed warmth, love, and appreciation for life. You are a social and creative being. Keep on keeping on your path because nature has prepared a way for you to be successful as a man in training with God's grace. Don't stop believing, don't stop learning, and also don't stop making mistakes, because in the contrast, life will produce a wonderful human being as you are. But God bless. And I'm so proud. I am so proud of you. Just keep on believing.
Good afternoon. I'll just read part of the letter. I love you, Jedediah. We love you. The world is your oyster, as they say. You have many pearls to share with this world to the glory of God, and you can accomplish anything that you set your mind and heart to do, Philippians 4:13. Whether it may be serving in a Navy band or an Air Force band, you will create your own path and still make us proud for following in the military tradition of the 2 generations before you, as the first military musician in the family. Remember the Lord your God, Deuteronomy 8:18. O taste and see that the Lord is good, Psalm 34:8. May his good and perfect will be done in your life, Romans 12:2. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path, Proverbs 3:5 and 6. Commit your plans to the Lord, and he will make them succeed, Proverbs 16:3. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart, Psalm 37:4. And lastly, whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all unto the glory of God, Colossians 3:23. Love you.
Thank you, parents. You can be seated.
Okay.
Guys, come on over here.
They belong to Ed now.
Jeremiah, Marcus, Jedediah, and Tracy, we welcome you to the Youth of Unity. We will endeavor to make your YOU a place where you will be spiritually thriving and feel the oneness of your friends in YOU across the planet. We see the blessing that you are, and we're grateful and happy to receive you as the YOU chapter of Unity.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. You may be seated with your group. And actually, at this time, if everyone would please rise for the prayer of protection and the peace song. Thank you so much for your attention.
Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God.
together in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.